Oh, hello everybody, and here's Jason. Welcome
Hello.
to the live stream. How's it going?
Really good. How are you?
I'm swell. Just packing for this trip tomorrow morning.
The big
Gotta be
trip.
up so early. So early.
Yeah.
I tell you what. So, do we have anyone on here yet? Probably not. No.
It's all right.
It's just, I'm just glad to talk to you. I don't really care if anyone's here yet. Although
Yeah.
I do care. If you pop in, we care very much. So, where should we begin?
Where would you like to begin?
Well, you have the better speaking voice, so let's. I
No.
can sing, but I can't talk. How's that?
Well, you can't type.
That's true. I can. Where's my sound effects? People don't know how bad, if they don't know me, they don't know how bad I text. It should be illegal.
Yeah.
It's not. It should not be legal. So
It's taken a little time, but I
Yeah,
can
I know.
translate.
it's Adam. It's the language of Adam.
Adamese.
Yeah, that's it. So, would you like to tell everyone, like, we're here to talk about you? You recently went to a Civil War cemetery, right? Out by you?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was a fun name. What's the name of the area?
I'd rather not say.
Oh. Shh. Secret.
Just because it's a very rural area,
Yeah,
and
I
I don't
get
want
it.
people going out there
That's true.
messing with stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of like my stuff tonight, too. It's a secret.
Ooh.
That's why this is called After Dark.
After
It's very
dark.
secretive. So, okay, well, we won't say where it is, but maybe,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what you saw? Because it sounded crazy.
Sure. Give it a little setup first. Everyone who's on my Patreon has already heard the episode with my friend Keith. And Keith told me about this other place that was nearby all the stuff he talked about. And I had never heard of it. It's this old cemetery, pretty small. And we went out there a couple weeks ago. And the premise of me going, I'm not a ghost hunter. It's not my thing.
Yeah. You've
But
told me.
yeah. But there's other
That's
stuff
okay.
there.
That's all good.
There's,
Okay.
There's reports of these floating lights and Bigfoot sightings because it's in that area. It's about 150 yards away from a river.
Yeah.
It's the Ambara River. It's spelled embarrass, but it's pronounced Ambra.
Oh, I love it. That's what I'm
yeah.
gonna use that word from now on.
I'm so
I'm so
Ambra.
amber right now.
Anyway, so we went out. The first thing we noticed was there's this black ring in this open part of the cemetery.
Okay.
And we thought maybe it was ash or some kind of a mold, but it wouldn't rub off. So I thought this is the perfect place to do some candle magic.
Of course.
Yeah. Right in the middle.
Right at the
And-
middle of the dead zone.
Yeah.
This ground is sour.
That's kind of what I thought.
I know. Okay, well, I already like where this story's going.
Yeah. So we light the candles. We're hanging out. It's still daylight. Well, it's dusk. And just kind of getting the vibe of the place. It's not feeling creepy. Nothing's really odd or out of place. But the night went on. And when it got dark, we're just standing there. We have the spirit box that I took. Just because the batteries were brand new when I left.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even turn on when we got there. So it was
Happens
off.
all the time to me. I totally understand that.
Yeah. So we had a K2 meter that was unaffected. And it was working, but we weren't picking up anything at all. And we had a voice recorder going. Spoiler: we never got anything voice recorded.
It's hard. It's hard when you're outside, though. Like it just
Sure.
I found. Yeah.
So we're still standing around these candles, and we kind of use our timeline as when these candles are done, we're out of here. And
Okay.
they burn for a long time. It was probably like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And so by then it was dark. And we're out in the middle of nowhere, so it's dark.
Yeah.
So anyway, candles are still going. We're looking around, we're listening, we're asking questions. Not really getting anything. And we heard this giant crash behind us about 100 yards.
Okay.
So between the cemetery and the river.
Ooh.
And this is Bigfoot territory, I have learned. And I have more
Is this
on that
by
after
the-
all this.
Okay. Is that near where the other thing was with the Bigfoot thing?
Yeah. As a crow flies, probably 10 miles.
Okay, so this is
So,
right
right
near
there.
where that crazy ass story took place. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Sorry.
And
continue.
again, that story is on an unreleased episode, available on my Patreon.
Yeah, we won't.
Otherwise, it'll be out in November.
Okay.
So yeah, we hear this big crash, and my friend Keith is with me, and his eyes were like saucers
Yeah.
because he's been up close and personal with Bigfoot. He knows it, and he wasn't happy about it.
Well, yeah. After hearing that whole episode, I can imagine why.
Wasn't it crazy? The
I
end
was
is
laughing.
my favorite.
I can't say anything, right? I gotta keep it.
Yeah,
I was laughing my ass off about what something might have taken and what they might have left behind.
Yes, that was so awesome.
That's like me. That's like what I would have done if I was a Bigfoot.
yeah,
I would have
yeah.
totally done that.
Absolutely.
So it was hilarious. But
Anyway,
yeah.
so we hear the big crash, and then we hear several smaller crashes to either the east or west. So the big one was to the south. And then it just felt like something was on the edge of the woods. The cemetery is completely surrounded by woods. And mostly it was to the west. You could almost hear a breathing sound.
Yeah.
But the bugs were really out and active, and it was distracting. And it might have just been some audio thing in our heads,
Yeah.
But it felt like there was something there. About that time, I see this orange light at the far end of the cemetery by the car, and I watched it for like 5 seconds. It just moves slowly across the tree line, and I thought somebody's down by my car with a flashlight.
Yeah.
So we book it down to the other end. Light is gone. No evidence of anybody. Nothing.
So you ran towards the light.
Yeah.
And then
Carol Ann.
but it was nothing. Carol Ann. I just watched that the other night. Carol
good.
Ann. Okay, so you ran towards it. That's a good ghost hunter. Always run towards the shit, not away from it.
Oh yeah.
Zach Bagans. Just kidding. JK.
No, you're not.
We won't go there today, sir. But
It's after dark.
maybe we will.
Anyway.
But yeah, sorry. Continue on.
Yeah,
This
because
is
there's
really
more.
good.
So we go back to the candles. At this point, I'm grasping for anything. We've had Bigfoot crash. I mean, potentially. It could have been anything. There was no wind. It hasn't rained. So the likelihood of a tree just falling seems low.
Yeah, probably.
And it was big. Like, it would have been a whole tree. It was very loud. You could almost feel it. So I'm grasping for anything. And I pull out my phone. And like, there's a lot of Civil War graves here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look up Civil War music on YouTube and just play something.
Okay.
So as I'm looking, Keith, who is this just astounding, like, historical reference on legs,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, hey, you should play Hell on the Wabash. And the Wabash River runs between Illinois and Indiana, which is right near us. And I said, what's that? And he said, you'll know it when you hear it. It's like the quintessential Civil War song.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I played it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know this. And I'm just holding my phone up, and I'm looking around, and I see this light overhead, way up in the sky, moving faster than any airplane I've ever seen. And I'm like, holy shit, look up there. And he's looking around, he's like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And I'm thinking, great, I'm crazy. And he's like, oh no, there it is. So I pull my phone back up, and I'm looking through the air traffic app that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It shows where all the airplanes are, where they're going.
That was a smart idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to know. This is moving north, directly over us. The closest airplane, when I had it open, was 45 minutes away to the west, going southeast. There were no planes over us at all. So it wasn't a plane. It did not look like a meteor or a shooting star. Like, I've seen all that stuff.
So it was like slower than a shooting star, but faster than an airplane? Kind of like between...
I would put it on about the speed of a shooting star.
Okay.
But it went on forever. Like, we could see it for a long time.
And it wasn't a satellite or anything, because those move slower.
Those move slow.
Yeah.
And it was orange.
And it was orange.
While I have the air traffic up, Keith is like, oh, it's flashing. And he's like, never mind, it's gone. And I looked and it was gone. He said it like flashed twice and was just gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So at this point,
cool.
Bigfoot, ghost lights, and a UFO.
Well, yeah, don't share that location. Keep that for you. You go back, get some more stuff. Yeah. That's so cool.
I'm waiting until it cools off a little bit more because the bugs were bad. So
yeah, I hear they're really bad out there. I've never been, but they're bad out here, and we're in the desert, so I can't imagine.
We had the big cicada thing this year. Mm-hmm. Oh, cicada thing.
Available in your merch store.
Yes, for patrons only.
Patrons only.
The hat will remain that way, unfortunately.
Oh, and for my viewers who are watching, if there are any, I'm just going to put the link to Jason's Patreon in the chat here, and then you should go on and subscribe.
Also, on that subject, before we go back to this Bigfoot thing.
Oh yeah, tell us about your thing.
Well, first we have to go back. So if you join my Patreon for the month of September, I am taking your pledge amount, not the amount I get after they take their fees out. Whatever you say you're pledging, I'm donating that to Hurricane Ida relief, and I'm matching the first 5. So
that's really nice of you. That's awesome.
Anyway, back to the more fun stuff, not the bad stuff.
Yeah. Hurricanes aren't fun.
No, this is a bad one.
I didn't even know how bad it was until like yesterday. Really honestly, I didn't even know, and I'm going right towards it. So you think I would, but
yeah. Well, I wouldn't think you would.
Well, I just don't. I don't watch the news because.
No, I don't either.
After the we don't say that word. After the thing, I just turned off the TV like maybe 6 months ago. So I honestly haven't seen any news.
Yeah, I get all my news from social media.
Yeah.
Just from people
and I haven't
in
been
areas.
On there. Yeah.
I know, you've been absent.
I've been gone for the past few weeks for crazy stuff. But yeah, anywho, sorry. Tell us.
That was on a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who is familiar with my show knows I'm a big Pennyroyal fan. And the Pennyroyal guys have their Patreon, and they do a live stream every Monday. So that next Monday, they have a guest, and I don't pay attention to the schedule. They have a guest on their live stream. His name's Thomas Shea. He's a Bigfoot hunter from Kentucky.
Okay.
And he's talking about all these places that he goes. I don't think I've even told you this yet.
Mm-mm.
So he mentions Illinois, and instantly my ears perk up. And it took a little while for my question to get out there. But I said, where at in Illinois? And he said, well, I can't say specifically, but it's by this town and by this other town in Indiana. And I'm like, oh shit.
Really?
Those two towns are about equidistant from this place. So this place is right in the middle of these two places. And the place in Illinois that he mentioned, he said that was the first time that he ever encountered glowing red eyes. Well, he was Bigfoot.
Okay.
So he's been in contact with me now.
That's so you're so
yeah.
You're so weird, Jason. All this stuff always happens to you. It's another synchronicity.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's really cool. So
because even if I would have known that he was going to be on there,
yeah,
I wouldn't have known that he was going to talk about that.
No. And so Keith, when he heard that crash out there, did he say it sounded like the thing he saw had happened?
I didn't even ask. I could tell.
Oh. But with
because
his face,
I looked at
probably,
him. Oh man, he was
that
straight
poor guy's
back.
got some PTSD going on from that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh yeah. As funny as the story ends, I know he was scared. For most of that encounter.
Oh, I would have died. I don't know. I've had run-ins with Bigfoot. Well, maybe. But I was in like a trailer when it was hitting up against it and stuff.
Yeah, that's similar to what he had too.
And I was still terrified.
Oh
but
yeah.
I can't imagine being like in a tent or something, Forget that shit.
I wouldn't want it.
No. That's why I don't camp in tents for that very reason.
I love tent camping.
I used to, but air conditioning. What can I say?
Don't go when it's hot. That's the key. If you don't wake up freezing cold at 3 a.m, you don't need to be out there.
Utah's so weird. It can get to almost freezing temperatures at night in summer, and then it gets in the it's crazy. So it's like, it's weird. You gotta time it right, or be in the right location, or climate here. Otherwise, it's like a really weird, brutal climate, another world. But no, I do appreciate tent camping. Don't get me wrong. I've done it a million times. But now that my knees don't work, I don't want to set up a tent, There's Bigfoots out there that are going to eat my and I'm trying to get the husband to get an RV, but that's down the road. No pun intended.
Yeah. No, down the road.
I make jokes.
I like that one.
Well, this has been fun so far. So far, we have no one here watching, but that's okay.
It's all right.
That's okay. They'll watch later because these, if you're still here with us in the future, these will always be available. If you sign up for, the higher tier on my Patreon, and then with Jason's too, if you go to his. But you would know that if you were here.
You would actually.
I don't know why I'm even explaining it.
Is there some sort of statute of limitations, where after so long this becomes public?
I was thinking about it. What do you think? You're doing that, right?
Not with my live streams.
Not on your live streams?
I'm doing early access podcast stuff.
I don't know. I was thinking, well, what do you think? Maybe we should decide right here, right now. Maybe not.
Maybe for the first few,
what if we make it available to everyone, in a month or something? Is that?
I don't even know if you need to go that long. Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. We'll let the people know what they're missing, and then we'll tease them with this little, tender bits, whatever this shit is that we're doing. I don't
tease them with your tender bits.
Oh my god,
you weirdo! This is not the live stream I signed up for.
It's after dark. It's the vape pen talking. It's for medical purposes. So yeah, well, sounds like you had a busy little investigation, and that's honestly, that's what you could hope. That's all you can hope for is what you just told me. A lot of times nothing happens, period. So that's a pretty good amount of stuff. And speaking of Civil War, cemeteries. I'm going to Gettysburg this week,
Yeah.
and I don't know anything about Gettysburg other than I did know that song. I mean, I know, you know what I mean. I know the story, but I don't know a ton about the actual, details of everything because I went to school in Utah and maybe they just didn't teach it, or I don't know. We just didn't get into it a lot, in school. So it's always been on my list. So I am excited, but I'm gonna play that song. I'm gonna go out there in the battlefields, wherever, and I'm gonna try some experiments. That'll be on my channel on YouTube, which I'm gonna be nice and just give it to the public for free.
Look at you.
You know, I know I'm so generous. But I don't know. Do you recommend? Do you know much about? Have you ever been or no?
I'd like to go.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of video from there and a lot of stories.
I mean, I've seen the ghost footage people have caught, and some of that stuff's crazy.
Yeah, really impressive stuff.
So, and it's if I can catch something like that, that'd be cool. But mainly, I'm excited to go learn, walk there. It's always an emotional kind of experience when you can be in the place. Just like it's kind of weird. I'm flying out of New York on 9/11 on the 20th anniversary. It's just like when you're at a place at a certain time, it just it brings this emotion about it, and it actually, I don't know. I have more experiences. If I feel like, more attached to the place, with as far as ghost stuff goes. I know that's not your thing, but I'm assuming I'm going to see a ghost or two on this trip.
Well, you're going to some spots where you should,
Yeah, I'm going to visit. I'm going to go to upstate New York, to Binghamton, New York. Do you know about Binghamton? Have I ever told you? So that's where my best friend lives. I'm going to go see Janice. Janice said she'd be watching, but she's lying because I don't see her right now. Janice. We'll have a chat tomorrow when I see you in New York.
Damn it, Janice.
Damn it. Janet. So where was I? I was saying,
Upstate New York.
Binghamton. So Binghamton is where the host of the Twilight Zone is from. Did I tell you this?
Cool. No.
So, Rod Serling. Mm-hmm. And have you ever watched any of the episodes of Twilight Zone? I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, if you haven't, I'd be worried for you. It's an awesome. If you haven't seen the Twilight Zone, get the hell off this thing. But no, I'm gonna go to a museum with artifacts from the show, and go to the park. There's an episode where did you ever watch that episode where the guy goes into town and goes on a carousel and it takes him back in time?
I think so.
And then he visits his child self in the past. Well, that's based off a carousel that's in Binghamton, New York, and it's still there.
Cool.
And so I might go there and take some tours for the channel. And a lot of his stories he came up with were from this town. So the town's a little creepy. I mean, if you're from Binghamton, don't hate me. But you know what I'm talking about. It's a little bit creepy, and I love it. I'm here for it, and I'm going to go visit some mansions. There's tons of haunted mansions over there that are museums. So I'm going to be very busy next week. And then we're going to go to Atlanta the following
weekend. Another historical hotspot, man.
Yeah. So we're going to go there, and I might take a drive to Savannah by myself while Barney's working. And just go visit. There's some cemeteries out there I'd like to see. And I've never been to Georgia. So that's kind of cool.
You should try to get in touch with Kiki Dombrowski.
Oh, is that where she is?
She's in Georgia, yeah.
I would love to chat with her sometime. She was so cool on your last live stream. She's a very smart gal.
Awesome.
Yeah. She makes me feel shame when I pick up tarot cards now. Like I don't even want to attempt to do a reading for anyone anymore because I'm like I suck.
She's so knowledgeable.
Yeah, she is.
Actually, I'm gonna get to meet her in October, so it's gonna be awesome.
That's right, at that conference.
Yeah.
Is that what state is that one in? Is that in Kentucky?
Tennessee. It's in Nashville.
Tennessee. Ooh, Nashville. That's also on my list. By the way, this Pepsi Zero Sugar Mango. Yeah, don't do it. Oh no, no, don't do it.
No. As he drinks it. Also, the wild cherry Zero is gross.
It is. Not like I've been. I think I went through a 12-pack of regular Pepsi this week. It's been a week, but I'm back on board with the no sugar thing until tomorrow when I get into New York. I'm like, our hotel's by a Cracker Barrel, so I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll see it. I don't know.
When you're traveling, you have to enjoy yourself.
No, I found out I have. Remember the show I did in February, the Broadway review thing? Yeah. So I guess they moved it up for next year to this year, and they're doing it again in November. So yeah, I got to get back on a diet.
So you're doing that again?
They kind of asked me. I don't know if I have to audition or what, but I'm going to be performing something from The Lion King called The Circle of Life. I don't know if you've heard that song.
I'm aware of it.
I'm just trying to like envision what I'm going to wear. It's going to be a whole thing. There's going to be lighting. It's going to be great.
It'll be interesting to see what song you actually do.
Well, that's what the director told me earlier on the last show. He's like, you're coming back, and you're fucking singing The Circle of Life. Don't even ask me any questions. And I'm like, okay. Cool. So that's what he told me. And I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on your Patreon, so I won't do that again.
Oh, I don't care.
It just happens sometimes.
It's after dark, man. There's no rules.
Fuck. After dark. And what do you think about like letting people come on and chat with us? I mean, I think it could be fun.
Sure. Maybe not like the whole time, but yeah.
No, we'll kick them off. I mean,
get out of here
if they start rambling like I do. But hey, my name's up on the top of the screen, so I can do that if I want, right?
Yeah. Can't even see mine.
Well, now I feel bad. Oh well, next time.
I don't care. It's fine.
So
this is your baby.
No, well, I'm just so glad that you're doing this with me. So I appreciate it so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I guess I don't know if you happened to see the video when I went to this. I want to talk about this nursing home.
Oh yeah.
That I went to, that I'm going to be going to regularly, and talk about. Have you ever just been like drained from a building when you've gone into it? Just like completely zapped?
Not me.
No. You don't. Well, yeah, you're not. You don't do the ghost hunting stuff as much, but
right.
Because I've done it so much, it doesn't. When that happens, I notice it. Right away.
Yeah.
And this building, it just sucked the air out of my lungs when I went inside. I remember this is Wendy's sister, good old Wendy.
Okay.
Her sister lives in this facility, and she's been asking me for a while to come out there, but I've just been so busy. But she called us like 1:00 in the morning, like last week, and she said, can you come? I keep hearing this little girl bouncing a ball outside my room, and there's no one here, and she actually does tarot readings too, and she has her whole room's filled with crystals, so I already love her.
I saw the big tarot,
the sun or something. Yeah. She's really into all this stuff. So she actually was talking to me about maybe eventually making merchandise. I always wanted to sell some tarot cards that were designed by me.
That'd be cool.
But she's also an artist, and she offered to do that, so we might talk about that. And they'll be like Polynesian themed tarot cards, so they'll be kind of neat. That's down the road. But anyhow, we went there, and there's something in this building, 100%. I didn't catch a ton on that investigation or whatever you'd call it. But there was a nurse there, and she's like threatening to quit her job because she's so scared. I guess. So I'm going to show a clip here in a second of when we went downstairs. So the building was built in 1910 or 1913, one or the other. So it's like 100 years old, or so. And it was originally a dance hall, and it opened on Halloween night. Isn't that kind of fun?
Yeah.
So the first thing it ever had was a big Halloween gala, and now years later they added 2 wings onto it, and they've converted it into a nursing home. And it's so bizarre in there. Like, it feels like a fun house the whole time you're in this building, because the floors are so... Actually, it was a very big deal in its time. They built the floors with springs under them so that people could dance. I don't know exactly the whole logistics of it, but they made the floors so that they were springy so that you could dance the whole night away in this dance hall.
That's so weird.
It is. But it feels like you're floating on the ocean when you're walking on these wooden floors. And so I don't know if that's the reason I felt so sick the whole night, or if it was the crazy ass elevator that just like dropped you down to the basement, like Tower of Terror style. I don't know. Speaking of Twilight Zone. But they added on a basement. They dug the basement out. And what I told her is this city that we went to, I've had, out of all the places in Utah that are haunted, Skinwalker Ranch, that town of Ogden, Utah, I think I did a video. This town here, they all have the Skinwalker, this really ancient sort of Native American vibe going on. And I still remember the first time I ever went to this town when I was in my early 20s. I turned around like on the road, like I had to go to an investigation, and I like turned the car around because I was so physically moved by this town. It just made me sick. That sounds really effed up. Your town makes me fucking sick, y'all.
Makes me sick.
But no, it really does. The investigations I've done in this town, and I investigated a really cool place that's like kitty corner to this building, and I had no idea this building even existed till the other night. And I used to be a resident investigator of this other location, and they have artifacts from thousands of years ago. It's a super haunted building, and the whole neighborhood has been known as like a graveyard of like woolly mammoths and other Ice Age creatures. They dug up a 16,000-year-old horse or something in the parking lot of this place that I'm at. So it's filled with history, and it's got a really weird, dark vibe to it. And every house that I go to, they all say the same thing. And I've been to 4, and they all say, we hear little kids, and they're always laughing and playing outside the hall and stuff. And to me, that sounds like something dark that's mimicking children, because especially the night I went to this place, I could tell that whatever it wasn't a kid, and it was pretending to be one. And this thing kind of changes, which is what makes me think Skinwalker, it changes its shape to the residents to be different things. In the movie theater downstairs, I'm going to show this clip, there's like posters of famous, old Golden Age actors. And one of the ladies says she keeps seeing this thing that looks like Charlie Chaplin walk with his hat on in the corner of this room.
I remember that.
And there's just a picture of him on the wall. And so it makes me think, like, does this thing just turn into whatever it sees? But
it makes sense. you'd have kids coming in and out, visiting family, and it's terrifying for a child to be in a place like that, like a nursing home in general.
It is a scary place if you're a kid.
I remember visiting, like my great grandparents, and it's always uncomfortable. So,
and I remember it always had a smell, but you know what? This one doesn't. It's actually run really nicely, and the CNAs are I talk to them a lot more off camera, and they're really sweet, but they're nervous. And the one in particular that needed our help, she wasn't there that night, so I'm gonna go back and meet with her when I come back to Utah. But she said something in that theater grabbed her leg, and the other CNA was trying to pull her away from it, and her leg was actually like floating in the air, and she could see where something was grabbing her leg in the air.
Wow.
And so I went down into this theater, and I didn't feel anything for a good 15 minutes. But what always happens, almost always, is I'll immediately feel something. And when I started to feel something in the room, it was like a vacuum cleaner, and the air completely sucked out of the room. And Wendy and I both, we couldn't even breathe. And it's the weirdest, I can't explain it. It felt like we were swimming under the ocean. The air became really thick, but at the same time there was no oxygen. And we could barely breathe in there. And then I caught this orb. And I'm like, I'm not into orbs usually, but I've only seen a purple orb twice, and both times it was when I was like terrified. And out of nowhere in this room, I was just sitting, and it's just like it's like any of my friends who have like a nice house with a basement with a movie theater in it. It's like a newer type movie theater room. So there's nothing creepy in there other than the fact that it's underground, and I don't like that. And then on the hall where this theater is, there's rooms where patients live. I just can't imagine living underground in this building, because there's just something so negative and oppressive there. But like I said, it didn't show itself for like 15-20 minutes, and then all of a sudden I felt like so much dread. And then I saw this orb. And the only other time I've seen this orb like this is in the Queen Mary, when I was in the cargo hold of the ship where the POWs were kept. And they don't talk about this if you go on the ship, which you can't anymore anyways, but they said that I was there with the ghost hunters back in the early 2000s, and they had special access. But they said the POWs, they were eating each other by the end of like the voyage back to wherever they were sailing, and it was just mass casualties. And because the heat in the cargo hold was 100 degrees in a tin can, everyone pretty much was dead that they took as POWs. And that's where I saw this purple orb, and it was glowing, and we could see it with our eyes, and I will never forget the feeling. It was just the most horrific, dreadful feeling of just sickness. And that's what I felt in this movie theater the other night. And so let me show you that orb.
Yep.
Tell me what you think. Let's see. What is that? Again, if there's a spirit here, what is that? If there's a spirit here, what is that? Well, it was glowing and it was purple, and it was just a little ball of light. I caught it on camera, I know I did, but it's I don't know if you saw that at the end. Yeah. I didn't even catch that, but there's another orb that kind of, and it's not
right
dust.
Down by the
bottom. But it was, yeah, I don't know what you think about. I mean, you said you saw a ball of light. That's what I saw there in this basement. It was not dust.
No, that's not dust. I mean, that's purple.
It was following an erratic pattern. And I rarely ever catch an orb where I'm like, oh. But you know how I try and keep negative stuff back at a place when I go? Mm-hmm. I can't help but think that when I went there that night, it just brought a whole shitstorm back to my house. I'm not going to get into it, but that's when I think I showed you that video of the lights in this office starting to go crazy. Yeah. And it did that the very next day. And then the day after that, my cat died, or was dying. We found out of nowhere. And it was just like a horrific week of hell this past week. Yeah. And I just can't help but think maybe, I don't want to say it, I don't want to give it any power, but it feels like something came back here and kind of screwed with me this whole last week. Yeah. I got rid of it. Like Wendy and I saged the shit out of this house, used all the crystals in the world, and I did a few other things, and it really made a huge difference. I had to clear this house. I had to clean this house twice. That's how bad it was, and it took me hours. Did the salt and everything on the doorways, because I don't know what is in this nursing home, but it's not good. And I can totally see how someone living there would just be terrified all the time. I feel so bad for the people that have to live by the movie theater area, because that whole basement level, I don't like people in basements. I don't think they should be in basements. It's just, there's just something, it screws with my mood to begin with. If I'm like ever in a basement of a house. But I couldn't imagine living, the end of my life or in a place like this. Hell no.
At a stage when you're really vulnerable.
Yeah, and that's what makes, it's crazy, because you've got people dying, you've got people coming in and out all day. Mm-hmm. Plus there's this ancient entity or something there.
Whatever it is.
There's so many different things going on in this building. So I am very hesitant, but I am going to go back, and I'm just going to be more I think the problem was I went there in the middle of the night. I was already exhausted. I have to be like alert, and otherwise stuff can screw with me and attach itself. And I know that sounds weird to some people, but it definitely happened in this case. And I'm glad that it's out of here.
Yeah. And you have so much like latent negativity, like the energy from your house. Everything you guys went through with it, whenever you were building it.
Mm-hmm. It's almost, and I keep joking and saying it's poltergeist, but but it's I don't want to, I can't even get into some of the things, but pretty much everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But we're just optimistic. And we're not leaving. This is our house, and I do love this house. But it has been a year. And it's been a really, really rough year. Just, not even with the house, just with other personal things. And
Sure.
I think all of that's just compounded, and this last week it all came to a head, and I can't explain it. It's like, it was one of the worst weeks I've had in years. And but it feels totally different now, so I'm good. But shit, it was a fucking week this past week, I tell you what. So, anyhow, I heard you're going to sing us a song, and...
That's not what you heard. You did mention the Queen Mary earlier.
Yeah.
I was listening to the latest episode of the Real Witches of the End Times podcast with Mena Allen.
Uh-huh.
And, gosh, who was it? Anyway, she mentioned that, I think it was her brother or cousin. Somebody is filming a movie on the Queen Mary right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Okay, cool. I didn't even know people could get on there.
Well, I mean, maybe if you're filming a movie, I don't know.
That's so, yeah, I, like, last I heard it was just, like, closed off to anyone for safety reasons and stuff even, but who knows?
Well, maybe
That's
there's
pretty
only
cool.
certain areas that are available or whatever, but
Well, I know the cargo, like, there's a big, I don't even know what you would call it, because I don't know English, and it's not coming to me, but there's this whole area down in the bottom of the ship. It's weird, if you go to the back of the ship, they use it for conventions back in the day. They used to use it for conventions. There's like escalators, and it's 3 levels, and it holds thousands of people for conventions. And in the bottom level, it used to be a dance hall. I can totally hear Wendy just like laughing her ass off.
thank God you know what it is. I've been listening to this for a little bit.
It's a ghost. It's a banshee. It's a Wendy. Hi, Wendy. I always know when Wendy's around. But, yeah, this bottom level, they used to do concerts there. Like, really cool, bands in LA and stuff. And all the fancy people. But there's been tons of stories of my friends being attacked down in this bottom floor area. And that's where the green rooms and stuff are. People have just been cut, bleeding, scratched, pushed off. Like, this thing, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but there's spots where the floor has holes, and if you fall in, you're dead. And so, people have been pushed into holes in this area, and that is the area that's the very bottom of the ship. And it's what I'm trying to get at is it's been leaking for decades. They've been having to pull the water out, and that's why they spent millions of dollars just repairing it this past year. And now I hear they may scrap the whole ship. And that would just be so terrible. Because it's so freaking cool. You have to go check it out if it ever opens again.
If you're a filmmaker.
Well, that's neat. I want to hear more.
I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about it. It was like a throwaway thing in this episode.
Did you know they filmed the Poseidon Adventure on the Queen Mary, the original?
No, I did not.
Have you ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was filmed on the QM. It's pretty cool. The new one was trash, though. Did you ever see that?
Oh, I didn't even finish it. It's like the new Ghostbusters. Didn't even finish it.
And there's another Ghostbusters coming. What's going to happen?
That one's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one is supposed to be out any time, right? Isn't it this year?
This year, yeah.
Do you know who's attached to it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Paul Rudd is in it.
Oh,
He's
really?
terrific. Yeah.
Oh, I love Paul Rudd.
Finn Wolfhard, like the main kid from Stranger Things, and he was in the new It.
I love the new It. Did you like the new It?
Not as much as I like the old one, but the kids part was really good.
The sequel was not great.
No, not great.
No, I could barely.
There was so
sit
much
through it.
forced stuff.
Yeah, I was but I no, the original one, of course, is awesome. It's the best.
Oh yeah.
But I kind
the
of
cast.
Yeah, I kind of well, Tim Curry, you can't. No one can come close. No.
Nope.
But the sequel or the remake, when it came out, that first remake, I just remember the whole theater was just like, we were all just, it was like being on a ride, and it was just like a fun experience. It wasn't scary, but it was like fun. It was like a fun, scary movie.
I think that they did it on purpose, right? But not mixing the two timelines together, like the original, was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think the adult parts would have been a lot better had they just been like interwoven.
It's just so hard. I mean, yeah, I can understand how it would be so hard to do, because that's one of his longest novels. It's like, what, 11 or 1,200 pages or something.
I think The Stand is longer.
The Stand's longer, yeah. But it is a huge story.
Sure.
And so, hey, man.
And the ending of it is just fucked up.
And it's hard to translate on screen,
You could never do that one scene.
No, and they did try, and they did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah, sure.
But But no, Stephen King, his books, they just don't translate for the screen because they're so
cerebral.
They are. They're just internal, and I love how, like, the way he writes is how my brain works, where I'll just be like, oh. And then he goes for 55 pages about, like, how, like, the guy went out to get his dry cleaning and the fuck went on that day. And, or, like, the details of how someone's eye popped out. I don't know. He just spends pages just going down. It's like you can tell he has ADHD like me.
Yeah. I think I already know the answer to this, but what's your favorite Stephen King book?
The Shining, of course.
Okay, outside of The Shining, what's your next favorite?
Oh, geez. You know, it's weird. I love The Stand, mainly because
it's my number one.
Yeah, that's got to be my top two. And I read that book in like junior high, I think.
Holy shit!
And they were filming it.
That probably would have been about right.
Did I tell you they filmed The Stand in my town?
No.
That whole thing's filmed in Magna, Utah. That's where they go down the street and blow up the buildings and take the people. That's like by my house.
Holy shit.
So that town, Magna, they use that town for everything for movies. And that's where I used to work in the bar that's also got the tunnels underneath. Where, like, if you ever saw the Ghost Adventures, they said there was like a witch in the town.
I remember that.
That's Magna. That's where The Stand was filmed.
Shit.
Yeah, and I remember I was just... God, when was that? 90...
It would have been mid to late 90s.
Yeah, 96 or 5.
I've disappeared. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. But I remember that was kind of one of my first tastes at, like, Hollywood filmmaking. And I was just like obsessed with following them every time they'd film. And I'd like hide behind like trees, and I got yelled at all the time. But I love Halloween, and I love to decorate my house even when I was a kid. And they had it was kind of cool. They put black sort of stickers on all the windows so it looks like the windows were bashed out. And back in the day, you know, they didn't have stuff like that. Yeah. So I like stole them like off the buildings. Well, they let me. I told them I'm taking these because they just kind of left them, and I put those on my house for Halloween. I remember that year.
Nice.
So it was just it was a cool experience, and yeah, I love the story. It's just
yeah.
Did you see the new one?
I did. It's fucking trash.
I don't know.
I was so disappointed.
I was just like, I heard Alexander Skarsgård, and I was just like, sign me up. But no.
No, the cast is good.
It was just, yeah, it was.
I didn't like the way that they did the time.
No, like, they did it wrong.
It has to be beginning to end. You can't start in the middle, then go back and forth.
Yeah, that's exactly the opposite of it.
Yes.
That one you have to do it from the beginning to the end.
It has to be linear.
And it was like they were trying to make it like This Is Us or some shit, and I wasn't.
I've never seen that, but
it's actually a really good show.
Take your word for it.
It's not even my type of show, but it makes me like ugly cry.
My wife watches it.
Yeah, she probably ugly cries then if she.
I don't know.
Ask her if she.
I don't think she's ever cried in her life.
Really?
No, she does sometimes.
We need to call a doctor.
For me.
Yeah. No, but I love The Stand, and I don't. Did you ever read Desperation or?
I've seen the was it a TV movie
miniseries? That was also a big disappointment to me because the book was so like I was so into the book when I read it. And you know that he had another book called The Regulators that was under his like pseudonym.
Yeah, what was it? Like that secondary
Richard Bachman or something.
Yes.
But they were both the same characters from Desperation. They were all the same names from Desperation, but in a different storyline. So it was really kind of weird, but I enjoyed reading both books. The second one, it's about a kid who's like maybe autistic, and he's making things happen on the street of this neighborhood, and it's killing all the neighbors. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Stephen King loves a kid that's, got some
Oh, yeah.
special gift going on. That's his thing.
I really thought that in The Stand they would have done more with Joe, like the little boy, the feral kid.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
saw that coming, and then they never did it. He never pulled
Yeah,
the
like
trigger.
I said, that new one, I was just not having it. I didn't love it.
No.
But the
I wanted
original
to.
one, yeah, the original one, go watch it again and know that I'm standing
yeah.
in the background,
That's awesome.
just like peeking over.
If I needed another reason to come out there, I'm like, there it is.
You just need to come out to Utah.
Yeah.
You're welcome anytime.
I'll just come out now and house sit while you guys are gone.
You'll be with Wendy. Y'all can hang out and get to know each other. Wendy, we're gonna have a house, guys. She's not. No,
Goodbye.
it's yeah. You don't want to come out here. There's nothing to do out here. It's probably
I don't know
kinda
where
like
I
where
am.
you live. You've just got a really long smile on your face. It just never ends. It's just there.
Well,
Maybe
I'll come back.
you're just frozen like this. You're like,
That sucks.
oh no.
Take me off and pull me back up.
Okay, let me just.
That's just a black screen.
Nope.
Hmm.
Well, that's okay. I don't know. What do you? That's so weird.
Hold on.
Oh, there you are.
There I am.
I thought you were screwing with me for a second.
No.
You were just like.
Sorry.
I was like, what's happening?
I don't know, man. Sometimes this camera, I don't know. That's what you get for $20 at Walmart.
Oh, that's all that. Your camera looks better than mine, I think, and I'm
Well, it's
using
full
a-
HD. I mean, 4K even, I think.
Yeah. My computer was stupid expensive, and the camera sucks on it.
Oh, I
you
have,
can see.
I mean, my camera is separate.
I might have to do that too. I got a camera at Walmart for $20 that's on my front door because I can't, because the door is 8 feet tall and the window's like, I can't even jump to look out that window. So we have a camera, aimed towards the doorway.
Yeah.
We get solicitors every single week. There's a guy on a little fucking, what are those things called with the little wheels? And they stand on them like
A
an idiot.
tricycle?
A Segway.
Segway?
And
You
they're
know the
always
guy who bought the Segway company fell off a cliff riding a Segway?
Oh yeah, I heard. I don't know why I'm. It's not funny.
No, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I did hear that. There's a Segway store here in town, isn't that?
No
weird?
shit.
Yeah, people love their fucking Segways out here, I guess.
I remember right when those came out, that company was like advertising the biggest revolution in transportation. The world will never be the same. And everybody's like, yeah, give it to us, flying cars. And they're like, here's the Segway.
Here's how you can look like a complete and total asshole just by trying to stay upright.
You know, there was an older couple that lived down the road from our old house, and they had two of them with the off-road wheels. And they'd come zooming down the road, and they'd cut across the cornfield, and then they'd go through somebody's backyard and go to Dollar General,
No,
and then turn around and come back, like all the time.
I can't. I would. Have you ever seen someone eat shit on one of those?
No, because that's the only time I've ever seen one in real life. But I imagine it's glorious.
So stupid. Oh God. Yeah, I guess like wherever I travel, I don't know if it's like a tourist thing that they always have Segways. Anywhere I've gone in the world, there's just like a Segway little shop.
Yeah.
And I remember this, and it's so messed up. It was an older lady, and she just fell forward right on her fucking face. And it was It was in Catalina Island. No, yeah, Catalina Island. It wasn't in Mexico. I get them confused. But no, it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. And I just like bursted out. I was just like, I could not. You know how like it's just so messed up to laugh at that shit?
Yep.
But I couldn't. I couldn't help it. I had to laugh at the bitch.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Being laughed at is the risk you take when you step on a Segway. You know?
Do you know how many times I've fallen in front of people? I've fallen on stage and people have laughed their ass off.
Oh, really?
So it's fine. It's a circle of life. It just...
So my limited acting experience was in high school. Every year the band did a big fundraiser dinner theater. And there would be a theme, but then there'd be several acts, you know. We had to do something every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like my freshman or sophomore year of high school, Jackass was huge. And I convinced the band director to let me and the shortest kid in band to run through the crowd in different, like multiple times through the show, me chasing him, like in different characters. And so one of the character things.
Oh yeah, because you're like really tall.
Yeah, and he's really small.
I'm
So I mean, he was like 5 foot on a good day.
Oh God.
And his name was Adam. And so
I get told I'm short all the time too. So
I don't.
I know.
And one of the ones we did was a Christmas one where I was dressed as a Santa Claus and he was dressed as an elf. And he had the Santa bag. And he's running off through the crowd. This is like on a basketball court. There's a stage like in the middle on one side. And then there's people eating dinner down on the gym floor. And then there's bleachers full of people on the opposite side. So we're running through the tables. And he has the bag. And I'm screaming, those presents are for the kids. Get back here, you know. And we're chasing him, and I ate shit right at half court. I don't know if somebody had spilled a drink or what. Man, I went down hard.
Oh my God, I would have laughed my ass off.
Oh, I was laughing. By the time we got out of there, into the hallway, I couldn't breathe from laughing and just from eating shit.
Oh my God.
No segue needed.
That's so... I wish someone recorded that so we could revisit it now.
There has to be one. They recorded it every year on VHS.
Oh, yeah.
And you could buy them at the local video rental store.
Really?
Yeah. But
wow, you do live in a
they're
small
lost
town.
in time. Somebody has one. I know they do.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, find it, please. Share it on the next one.
It was so stupid.
Well, you know, those floors are dangerous if they get anything on them. I know exactly what you're talking about. The church I went to as a kid, I fell on my fucking face every Sunday trying to run across the whatever you call it. They had like church, and then they had these accordion doors that would open for overflow, but it would go into the basketball court area. Yeah, I fell on my face there every day. I fall a lot. I don't know if you can tell that about me, but I guess you could probably imagine. But I do. Yes, I fall a lot.
I don't fall a lot.
Well, I do. I'm just saying, like, if we meet up, it's probably going to happen, and it's going to be really embarrassing for you.
You got really quick reflexes, so I might be able to save you.
Okay, well,
I ate it the other day. Pulling the lawnmower through my carport, we have this big flower bed in the front yard, and I'm walking backwards, pulling the mower because there's places where my riding mower won't get too tight.
Yeah.
And I just went backwards right into that flower bed, and I looked around. Neighbors aren't outside. Wife didn't notice, so I got up. I'm bleeding.
Oh no!
I hit my head a lot. I don't fall down so much, but I hit my head a lot.
Are you top heavy? Is your head real heavy and you just fall over? That's how mine is.
I mean, I'm so tall, and the world is not made for people who are over 6 foot. You know, I'm almost 6'5".
Yeah,
at work,
I don't know.
Nightmare.
I would settle for 6'2", and I'd be happy.
You know, I'd settle for 6'2".
That'd be 6'5". I mean, hey, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm jealous. Absolutely.
No, it's awful. I've had so many undiagnosed concussions.
You and me both.
It's a bad time.
Well, I'm glad you fell into the flowers and not into the lawnmower, because that
See,
would
it's
have
a
been
flower
different.
bed, but there's no flowers. It's full of gravel.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. But again, I'm glad you didn't fall into the lawnmower. That would have sucked.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it
more.
wasn't running. I was just pulling it out to use it in this area, and I just ate shit.
I'm scared of lawnmowers. I never told you this, but my dad lost his fingers in a lawnmower.
I work with a guy who his dad ran over him with a lawnmower, and he lost most of his foot.
He lost like all his fingers on the left hand,
Wow.
and I don't know what happened. I was there when it happened, but I had to like pick them up and put them in a bag
Oh shit!
so that they could try and put them back on. He had a heart attack as it was happening. It was crazy. That man lived through so many strokes and heart attacks. I don't know how he lived as long as he did,
Wow.
but God, no, that scarred my shit for life.
I would imagine.
Now I'm always just kind of. The one time I mowed the lawn at this house that my husband didn't, I was just holding on for dear life and hoping to God I wouldn't get sucked into the fucking lawnmower.
You know that's not how they work, right?
I don't know, I guess. I just feel like it's going to take my hand. But no, we have one of those, douchey electric lawnmowers that...
Oh, you're one of those.
Because we're helping the environment.
Yeah.
No, we would have never paid what it was, what it cost, because they're ridiculous. But it was, someone had returned it, and it was a crazy weird clearance thing, so we bought it. And honestly, it sounds like a chihuahua being eaten alive, screaming. Like, it makes the sound like a mix between a Dyson vacuum and like a little dog screaming.
No wonder someone returned it.
But it's the stupidest sound. I am so embarrassed to mow the lawn. And you know what sucks? Like, the guy across the street has the same lawnmower, so I shouldn't be embarrassed. But it just sounds so stupid. Like, it's so quiet, though. Like, you could mow the lawn at 6 a.m. and it has headlights. I don't know why you need headlights, but it's got headlights. But it's so stupid sounding that I can't use it. It's embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed for you.
I'm embarrassed for me. Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
yeah, Barney mowed the lawn today again. So,
I mowed the lawn today.
yeah, well, we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks. Might as well do that.
Yeah. You probably don't have to mow your lawn very often, right? Living in Utah.
No, we mow it every week.
Really?
Yeah, just because we're in a drought, but our neighbor waters his goddamn lawn so much that it like pours over into ours, and it does grow pretty quick. Even though it's been a horrible summer, it grows pretty fast. It just looks like shit. It's all yellow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about. I don't know anything about the grass. Well, in the yard.
Yeah, the grass.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's after dark.
I felt like there was something else I was going to talk about. Paranormal
Do you want to talk
related.
about your giveaway thing, or?
Oh yeah, the referral thing?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a member of my Patreon and you get somebody else to sign up, you both get entered into a drawing. Unlimited times. SB7 Spirit Box, K2 meter, or a hoodie. You can pick.
Nice.
And I'll send it to you.
This is for my viewer that's watching.
What was that?
I meant to say viewers, but there's like viewer maybe.
Oh, I wonder who's here.
Not any. Well, now it's gone. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Maybe this didn't even go on. Maybe it's not even working.
It says it's live.
We're just
now I'm
talking to
gone.
ourselves. Oh dear.
Oh, there I am. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I just shall we go for it? Shall we wrap it up tonight? Then I guess.
Yeah, sure.
And I really, you know me. I can talk for hours. However, I have to be up in 4 hours for a flight, and I'm
sorry.
Pack. No, I really enjoyed this chat. I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Thanks. Like, hopefully we can do this every month or.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah, I'm
Sweet.
here. So, thanks for watching. If you were watching from my Patreon, thanks to Jason's people, you're awesome. Thanks
Hopefully
for watching.
they'll be around.
Yeah, someone will watch this.
Someone.
Someone somewhere will see this.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be there. But no, this was a fun little thing. And if you are watching at home and you have any ideas for next month, it's gonna be October. It should be something special.
Crazy.
It is. It's gonna be nuts.
I'm
It's gonna
pretty
be
busy.
nuts. Well, we'll figure out a time.
Yep.
We'll make it work. But we'll come up with all new awesome shit to talk about, and we're gonna get real after dark. You know, I don't know.
I don't know what that means, but I'm intrigued.
I don't know. Shit's going to get real on After Dark.
We need a better tagline than that. That's not gonna do it. Shit's gonna get real.
You're gonna eat shit on After Dark.
Probably before I go home to bed.
Okay, well stay away from the lawnmower, and have a fantastic weekend, Jason.
Yeah, enjoy your travels. Keep me updated.
I have a 14-hour flight deal tomorrow, so I'll be on planes all day.
If you get stranded in Indianapolis for some reason, let me know. I can be there in like 2 hours.
Well, just come meet. How far is it to Pennsylvania from your house?
A long ways.
Once I get past Oklahoma, I have no concept of geography. Everything that way over, I don't fucking know where it is. It's all the same to me. Yeah. But I'm sure that's how it is out here for them. But yeah, it was very nice chatting with you. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Always
Have
nice
a
to see
wonderful
you.
evening. Absolutely.
Thank you. Oh! Is that Mothman? What is that? Oh, no.
Oh, it's a Kentucky Goblin.
That's the Kentucky Goblin. Let's talk about that next time.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, put that on the list.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Okay, have a good night. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye,
Goodbye,
everyone.
viewer.
Bye.